Hi, I'm Vasundhara. I welcome all of you for this NavDurga Series. 9 women-related challenges we'll be discussing with 9 powerful women and trying to find out the probable solutions. Women-related challenges, lots has already been said, and still lots remain unsaid. You have an ailing parent at home. Who needs to take care? Of course, it's women. We are good at taking care. The child has homework to do, there is project to be submitted, there is elocution, and the actual elocution day, it's all moms, because moms are the best. The husband gets relocated, of course, the woman also has to get relocated and find out a new job there. It's absolutely okay. And you're talking about pregnancy and the child care post that, who else? She has to do it. She has to take a decision what she needs to do. So much on her shoulders, and therefore this multitasker has to say no to certain things in the office, and the result is slow growth or no growth. So she has an option of spending few frustrating years or take a break, sabbatical, and that's fine. We are used to doing so many sacrifices in life, and it's absolutely okay with us, we women, right? But when she goes back to the office, she has a child at home and judging peers in the office. Few more frustrating years, choice A or choice B is quit and become a homemaker. I'm not here to say what is right or what is wrong. My question is, what does she want? Tough question? Definitely not simple solutions. We may have a breakthrough today by talking to our Durga, Deepa Soman. About Deepa Soman, if I have to say, she says that she is an accidental entrepreneur, but she actually has 70 plus projects every year, and the entire Lumiere team, and she boasts not even once they have missed the deadline. Impressive, isn't it? Her clients can actually swear and vouch for her dedication and the best excellent service that they get, and her eye for details. She's done her post-graduation from SPJN, leadership coaching from IIM Bangalore, and service excellence from IIM Ahmedabad. Her work and the entire Lumiere team's work has got presence in Rashmi Bansal's book, Follow Every Rainbow. The entire chapter is dedicated to it. I know Deepa personally for last 14 years. For me, she's an avid reader, a compulsive writer, a really great orator. But what I feel her best quality is, she's a people collector. I don't know how she manages to keep everybody in the loop. And if I have to just wind up everything that I have to say about Deepa, we all have heard Indira Nooyi saying, women can't have it all. And I was shouting, yes, she's right. But you know what? You always have Deepa. Deepa Soman for all of us. Welcome Deepa. Thank you so much for accepting this invite. And to begin with, what I would like to ask you is, how did you think about this entire NavDurga series? And the next immediate question is, on your website I saw profiles for all life stages. I think this can be a real right beginning of this interview.
Yeah. So yes, Lumiere, thank you Vasu for this opportunity, and we are actually in our premises called NavDurga, so the building is NavDurga. So when we were actually looking for spaces and I saw the word NavDurga, we had seen, I think, so many spaces, and somewhere I felt there is a message there. Maybe this is going to be the office, and we have been in these premises now for 10 years. So, and Lumiere itself is 27, going to be 27 in September. And this purpose of starting this company remains the same, to provide an opportunity, a life stage opportunity for women professionals to get back to work. So that remains the purpose or the mission of this company. By God's grace, we have not had a day without work. We haven't gone out there and pitched ourselves. Most all of our work has either been repeat work from the same client. Some client have been with us right from day one, and in the services industry, that is it. You are as good as the last project that you deliver, and our quest is how can we keep giving value to the people we work with, all our stakeholders, people that work with us and the people that we work for, so that it is a community that we create, which is, this Lumiere is for a platform, it is for the core team, it is for our alumni like yourself to come and engage with us, and we can provide value and we can be enriched at the same time for our clients and for our associates that we work with. So that's what we've tried to create, an ecosystem which is enabling, which is supportive, a great team and people who believe in this idea of Lumiere. And that's really what it is.
Awesome, simply awesome. That was wonderful, Deepa. Now going back to what you just said and connecting it to the topic, you said, women who wants to join back to the task force, was the core value and what was the thought. What's been your observation? Why do women need to take breaks or sabbatical? What are the different reasons?
So you said something very important earlier, that what does the woman really want herself? So it all boils down to personal choice that the woman along with her ecosystem take, which means it could be an individual decision, but usually there's always a significant other, and that significant other could be a partner, it could be a husband, it could be the family, because earlier we used to think it was about only maternity, it was only childbirth. We have women who want to take a break or even to take a step back or a pivot, and that could be about prioritizing health. We have single women. We have an investment banker that works with us who had taken a break for 7 years. She's single, but she realized that her health was completely messed up, and her PCOD had flared up, and at a particular point in time, we got to know her through her family and through she discovered Lumiere, let me say that, and she came and she did there is a program that we have which is a fellowship. It is an observership program which is for 3 months, where you come here, you get in this period of time, you get coached. So there is both transformation coaching that happens on the work front, on the life front, and in those interventions you also go through a process of self-discovery. Parallelly, you get to work on life projects, given your area of passion, your area of work, because we work in maybe 17, 18 verticals. Depending upon what are the life projects at that point in time, the person works on that alongside, learns tools, learns about technology, gets updated with what is happening, works as part of the team, gets to play different roles. So you work in the research vertical, you get to work maybe on a consulting project, be part of some workshop, which is how this person came in. And at the end of that period of time, 2 things can happen also. One, of course, depending upon how invested the person was on that strengths journey, we have a huge amount of self-awareness and self-discovery. So we say it's almost like going on a course to learn about yourself, which is life-changing for everybody. The second thing they learn is how teams engage. They work with people of different age groups. You have young designers, very multidisciplinary teams. You may have a person who has a background in pharmacy, you have a person who has been a brand manager. We're working together on the client project. So we learn some things like the best practice of project management, and everybody over here is being groomed to be a good project manager, which means learning about the tools, learning about mindsets, attitudes, behaviors. And in any case, when she was on the break, you first start with learning to manage yourself, managing your time, managing energy, managing the resources, and these resources could be people, it is money, it is time, learning to do things within a time-bound thing. Like you said, if there is, let's say, an elocution the child has to go for, there is planning, there is looking for material, so there is research, there is being able to fit with the capability of the child, the level of the child, who is the audience, who is the child going to be presenting to, what is it that the child will accomplish without getting distressed, then how do you concentrate on the process of learning for the child and not necessarily the outcomes. So you're learning the right things, and of course you want the child to feel good, you want the child to win, but it's also a team project if you can make it that. So in life, whether you're planning a movie, you're planning a vacation, you're planning something to do, if you're planning recovery for a child who is unwell, you're always deploying those. When you are anyways for a manager, right? When you say, आई काय करते, आई हाउसवाइफ आहे, बाबा सर्व्हिस करतात, पण आई is also service. She's serving at home, she's serving aji ajoba, she's serving food, she's serving the community. She may be part of a Vishi group, there may be some neighbor aji she's looking after because the son is in America. So, we are doing these things, we don't think about it like that, but actually we are managing ourselves so much. Absolutely. I don't think it is rocket science. It's just about finding the right vocabulary for it, the terminology, the discipline, using tools, techniques. So the transitions, if you have the right mindset and attitude, if you are learning from, if you are modest and humble to learn, if you can be self-reflective, people can manage the transition better. Some people are not able to manage or whatever, but I always say, look at all the resources, don't underestimate the role of family, the support of family, because सबको साथ में लेके आगे बढ़ना है.
You've already answered part of my question. I was going to ask you when woman generally takes a break. When she joins back, she's low on her self-esteem, and she's clueless. She's already feeling that she has lost the battle. So how do you take care of that part, or how do you suggest women to take charge of themselves and go ahead?
Yeah, so what we've observed, Vasu, is that people will have different levels of self-confidence and self-assurance. It's not a one-size-fits-all. There is a reality check you need, which is a very custom approach for each person. It's not one-size-fits-all.
True.
Because women may have had got some opportunities to do things when they were on their own. So let's say a person had a baking business. She also got confidence in saying, how can I convert something that was a skill? How do I monetize it?
Okay.
Some women get a lot of their fulfillment out of how the children have done, and they have not necessarily been low on that self-confidence. They may feel that maybe, everybody will feel that, and even I'm saying even women who take a small mat break of 4 months and go back to work also are, a lot of self-doubt is there. I don't deny that. That also is because things are uncertain. You always feel that, because I was sort of taking a step back, what have I lost? Have I lost on the grapevine? Have I lost out on, maybe there is a role change. So I think if one keeps looking outside for validation, there will always be self-doubt. But if a person comes from saying, let me be realistic, what exactly do I want at that point in time? So one of the things that we do in the strengths journey is kind of move the lens back on saying, who am I? What am I, what are my superpowers? So the strengths is really the Gallup strengths coaching that I talk about. Milind is a Gallup certified coach, and what he says is I am his best coachee, because when we did this in 14th November 2016, the entire family, I was 50 years old, so Rahul, Riya and I took our assessment at that point in time, and I'm a very sincere person. I'm not necessarily serious, but I'm very sincere. That's also what we try to do over here, that work need not be all serious and all, but if we can be sincere about the learning journey, the discovery process, we can be doing things right, getting it right the first time. And that's the idea. So we went through this process, and Vasu, you called me a people collector, and rightly so. I always used to think that this actually gives you an understanding of how you do on the 4 leadership domains of executing, of relationship building, of influencing and thinking strategically. So that is almost set by the time we are about 18 or 19. So it's like a kundali. Once you know that, you know what are the hot buttons. So these 34 what are called talents. So talents are like having muscles. But when you go to the gym, you build those muscles. So that talent becomes a strength. So what we do so in this period of time is to really understand and give people that understanding of saying, oh my god, मेरे को ये पता ही नहीं था, this what I'm reading is actually what I'm good at. फिर वहाँ पे where am I getting pursued? So we have a way. So on the one hand there is a self-discovery, and what we have seen now is that it's now proven and templated. So this model we have worked. Till then it was little trial and error, if you know what I mean, till we had the tools. The coaching that you talked about, I learned about something very important. So this is really David Rock, and that, you know, I believe in that, saying that the prefrontal cortex. So I was coming a lot from the mind. See, if you have a lot of clutter in the head, this prefrontal cortex is like a small child's room. You're seeing this space over here. Imagine it being very dark, and imagine with lots of toys on the floor. If you are navigating at that time, you are going to stumble and trip. We become, and that's where you will forget the car keys. You will have you have a hangover. Somebody raced you from the car on the side, and तुम आप उसी गुस्से में हो. The bike came late, and you wanted to get late. So there's a huge amount of clutter in the mind. So one of the things that we do over here is every morning in our assembly, we have a reset button. We start with our assembly with 3 breaths ritual. So rituals become very, very important. And these are things you can take back to your home. And so in this the 3 months that they are, it's a good enough practice of how to gain personal mastery. We've always talked about Stephen Covey and 7 habits. We all know the theoretical part. But what we've had a lot of joy is saying is, how do you translate it into practical things? I can go and do that, and you deconstruct it, say, and how you will drive the car is very different from how Nitin will drive the car, because Nitin is hardwired differently, you are hardwired differently. Nobody is saying you drive like Nitin, but can you be the best version of ourselves? That's the quest, and that itself gives a lot of self-confidence to these returnees. And we also do this for early jobbers. So we also work with a lot of institutes. We have an internship program. So we've discovered that at every life stage this becomes important. True. There are men, for example, who have at a point in time where they're saying, this is not fulfilling me. Women, we had chartered accountants, 18 years you had a big job in a bank, and then you're saying, I'm not feeling fulfilled because my
calling is different.
Something is different. I mean, I'm feeling jaded. So this is also a whole reset program. It's not only for returnee women, but it's also for people who are doing a reset. And that's something that has given us a huge, we must have today coached over 700 people in this space of, refinding your purpose and being able to connect them back into appropriate either professions, companies, new sectors. We have one of the people that worked with us is she's the CEO of one of the large non-profits in the country. So there are lots of people, and some people of course might opt to be with us, and that time could be, if it makes anyone feel better, a 17-year break. One of our successful project managers came back. She's actually managing accounts now. 17-year break.
So I think nothing should stop you. Not the number of years, not
your own inner readiness.
I think reset was the right word, right energy, right signal that everyone, and as you said, everyone needs it, not necessarily somebody who has taken break. Somebody who is already in the race might just feel one day, oh my god, my heart just got stuck up.
Or sab khali lag raha hai. This is not aligned me, or my health is not supporting me.
True. Why am I even running this race? This was not my race to begin with. Absolutely.
Who am I doing this for? So I think we owe this to ourselves, to sit with ourselves and reflect. And I think each one of us, man, woman, child, we need that space. We need to give ourselves the space. The other thing is today addictions. We are caught up in our mobiles. How do you bring awareness to the moment? Today I'm sitting with you, nothing exists for me other than this, you and me and the Durga conversation. And that is so, it makes us feel so light, doesn't it? Correct. You don't have things burdening your mind.
And you get so much out of every moment then when you're focused. Otherwise you've just lost it.
You are authentic, you are yourself.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Yeah, Deepa, I just feel we should keep on talking. It's so much you shared, and it was so wonderful. So, looking at this challenge that woman has because of so many hats that she needs to wear, do you think flexi time is really an option? Whether she should go for it, and now work from home that I think has become okay with most of the corporates. Is it really godsend? I just want your views on that.
See, flexibility is a very core value for us at Lumiere. And why? Because I truly believe that freedom, having a freedom to express yourself, to work, is something that defines us. It allows that best to come. We had a team member, for example, who was more, and she was not an early morning person. And at that point in time, the flexibility was such that so long as we have the processes, we have the flexibility. There are times when you have the check-ins. Like this morning, I'll give you an example. When we saw that we wanted to pick Advait from, we have a chamari over here, place where the interns stay. It's also part of our design labs office, which used to be our old office, Miras. So in Miras, there are also places where individuals can stay. And I knew that he was working through the night because we were trying to create something. So when I told him, I said, Advait, you don't need to come in the morning. The 4 o'clock meeting is critical. Why don't you just go take some sleep, lunch वगैरह करो, 2 बजे आप आ जाओ. So it is just a very it comes from a place of, I think, just being able to enable your team to do your best. So it just so means that you don't necessarily have, of course you need guardrails to run a workplace, but discretionary at this point in time, today it wouldn't matter very much if Advait came in the afternoon and he maybe came at 2 o'clock, brought the team up to speed on what he had done, saw, delivered what he had to do, and he said, no, I'm feeling very fresh now. He has the freedom to say that I'll take a break. You see this space over here, people can just lie down over here and take that power nap of 35 minutes or whatever. So I think at the very fundamental core, it comes from a place that fluidity, flexibility is the way organisms are also set. The moment you say there is good intent, people know what they have to do, they have the tools to do it, and they are trusted to bring their best selves to work, then it shouldn't really matter. There will be times when you and I need to meet face to face, and then we will have to keep to our timelines no matter what, and that's a non-negotiable. But there are times when you could have very well said, Deepa, can I move this shooting to another time? And so I think that is the more of flexibility of the mind. In fact, Milind and I always say that between 0 and 1, there are infinite options available. So it is, it's interesting to find what is that I can use at this point. So it's not binary, it is infinite choices, and that is the intelligence of us being human, and that is where our wisdom also comes in.
Absolutely. I completely agree. I think you have already established a template which many companies can follow and have that kind of inclusiveness, not only for women but also for men, because now if both of them are working, then it's important for men and women both to have this kind of flexibility, understanding from employers side. That's really wonderful. So what's
I'll
your...
tell you a story. When somebody in our family, they have a template where the husband and the wife have said, each one of us, they're both from the software background. 5 years the wife will go work, and she will really be the bread earner, and the husband will do his passion project.
Awesome.
The next 5 years she does her passion project, which is really education, helping girls complete their 10th and 12th, and involved music. That's another passion for her. Whereas he's very involved with traffic, with urban cities, safety, road safety, and there is a non-profit that he has been powering. And they've been doing this between the US, being in India. They have done this now for 25-30 years of a 5-year sort of a plan of one person going and being the primary breadwinner.
Yeah.
And so these are new models, and I see that parents, boys, men being so involved with child rearing, and I think this kind of finding what works for your family being creative about it, not taking positions कि हमारे यहाँ ये होता है, you know, that's the flexibility of the mind. That if the moment we bring in, creativity will flow, solutions will be found by couples, and you know, whatever model of child rearing you want to adopt or elder care you want to adopt. So I think you asked a question, flexibility. I think flexibility is very fundamental.
I think I see a lot of hope in tomorrow, and the kind of example you shared, that was really a wonderful way to, you know, get accommodate both careers, both aspirations, and you know, there is no one who is sacrificing for somebody else. So it's a beautiful world, I think, out there waiting for all of us.
We can bring harmony that way.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Deepa, what is the message for all those Durgas there waiting to get motivated by your talk?
So I firmly believe, you know, men or women, it really doesn't matter, because one, I think, you prioritize yourself, you know, make that time, make that mind space to build awareness into your moment, because every moment, you know, the day is made of many moments, and if we can create a few beautiful moments for ourselves and our family, irrespective whether it is work, life, it calls for that being aware of that moment, being aware of your energy, what makes you happy. I think that's very important, because the seeds of a very fulfilled life comes from that sense of, you know, when am I really at my happiest best, and that usually doesn't come from looking outside, it doesn't come from material things, because वो आज है कल नहीं रहेंगे, but something at the core which defines you. And I really believe that each one of us is unique like a fingerprint, and we must find that, you know, that nooks, that thing of what makes us special, and really cherish it, protect it. That is our superpower. So if we can find that, nurture it, celebrate it, and keep moving forward. My guru says this beautifully: be a smile millionaire. And you know, I'm sitting with Vasu, and I really love her positivity and her smile. And I think we just lift ourselves and others with that radiation of that positivity. And it's okay to acknowledge our low moments, but I think to keep looking up and keeping on becoming the best version of ourselves. I think that should be our quest.
Thank you so much, Deepa. I'm feeling so charged, so motivated. Like each time I meet you and I go charged, and I feel, oh my God, so much is to be done still. Thank you so much.
Thank you for this opportunity, and I wish everyone watching the very best to make yourself happy and do what's best. The world will be a better place because you are a part of it.
Absolutely.